We don't have it divided. So it's been confusion.
We're back.
And we're back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. The electricity went off and came back on and knocked everything off. So we're gonna start again where we were at. And so, back to our budget.
So we just got over the mowing.
We just
right?
got talking about,
The mowing
the mowing
service.
situation, yeah. So, my paper goes, sorry.
Should be on Chamber of Commerce
Yeah, no.
or administration can do it.
Yeah, continue, sorry. Okay, so, Chamber of Commerce, we are, we had budgeted 150 and they didn't go up and they're not gonna go up this year, so it's only $100. Grant writing was the next line. We still would like to find somebody to help us grant write and try to get some grants.
We never used that, right?
We haven't used it.
We didn't grant write anything.
Yeah, we didn't, but we sure would like to
Yeah,
this next year.
I agree.
We'll put that down. Electric and water, I really don't see that we're gonna be able to do anything there this year, but in case we need it for,
Yeah.
something, I put down a little bit down there. And then, other administrative charges, these are things that just come up out of the blue that we have to pay. So, I don't like other, but we have to have that, this particular thing. Okay, and so, the next one is the annual audit.
Does that happen at the same time as the city?
The city, and they are about to finish their audit for 2022 and start on 23. And we've asked that they send us a separate bill for our part,
Okay.
rather than being included in the city's for me.
Okay.
So we'll know exactly what we owe.
Okay.
Training and travel. Okay, this is for the actual cost of going somewhere to do our training in the hotel room and anything else that we might need for that.
What kind of training?
Like the basic economic development training course. It's like a 4-day thing.
Like that.
So that would be one, or if we're gonna do an advanced course or something like that. And then we had to travel to go do that. The next one is what it cost us in membership to the EDC.
I have a question about that. So I am assuming that they changed their wording on the membership names of what you can go up under. So ours is just for volunteer
Yes.
and not full membership, because the full membership would be
Much more expensive.
right. But what are we not getting out of that?
We're basically getting
Getting the same
everything.
thing? Okay.
It's just that because we volunteer our services, we don't have to pay quite so much.
Okay.
But we get all of the webinars. If you see it come up, they'll advertise for webinars you can take if you like. We still get advantage of going to all the different training and everything else. It's just they don't charge us near as much for volunteers than they do for actually getting salary for it. Okay, sales tax workshops. And you know, our goal is to have everybody take sales tax workshops every 2 years.
We have one available, I think it's full
Yeah,
right now. I'm not sure.
we need to get you in one pretty soon.
And I got free time for the next 6 weeks.
Okay, we'll see
Running
what,
pretty light.
I'll see what I can do about
They
it.
only do it like 2 or 3 times a year.
Isn't that like $200 per person?
Yes. But, you know, I'm budgeting for that. Office supplies, city orders, paper and stuff like that we use to make copies and things like that. And then we'll end up paying the city to back at the end of the year with that. Okay, attorney's fees.
It sure went up a lot.
Okay, so we can change that because I just got confirmation that it's not gonna go up again. So I had budgeted with the thought in mind that we're currently paying $7,000 a year for our attorney. And I had budgeted in case it went up, but they said they're not gonna go up this year, so we can change that to 7,000
The attorney.
on the attorney's fee.
And this is part of the city website.
That's the, yes, yeah, that's where I'm going next, yeah. Yeah, this is our part of the city website.
How much are they charging for the
Okay,
website?
I've got it right in front of me. Their website costs $3,830.40 annually.
So this
I mean, I
is West
understand
Tawakoni?
from,
That's West Waukeni's.
You mean the one that still can't get a security certificate up?
Yes,
With only takes anybody that's 12 years old 5 minutes and $50?
yes.
Okay,
so if it's that,
Expensive. They're saying that
I
our
mean,
part of
that
it.
it would be the normal costs. I mean, y'all just got a good deal because I did the website.
Yeah,
But I just don't understand why we should have to pay half of it.
Okay, so
Well, I mean-
it should be a fourth of it.
A fourth
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah,
But it's probably more because of the water department and they're taking bills, they're taking payments and everything. Their portion should be more.
more than our fourth.
Right. I mean, we just get our agendas posted,
Mhm.
which technically they have to do by law, so.
We can say what we want to pay and then just go in and tell them that this is all we're gonna pay.
It is what it is. If that's what they're gonna make us pay, I just want to
Yeah.
see that it's
What'd you,
I know,
what'd you
like,
decide
like-
on the attorney?
Oh,
7,000.
7,000.
7,000?
So who decided that our part would be 767?
Well, what happened was, we looked at what the annual was and we were discussing it. They divided it by 4 and said that's what they would think that we would pay. Because that would be city, the water company, planning and zoning. Actually, they ought to divide it by 5, shouldn't they? City, water, planning and zoning, keep West Waukene beautiful, and
police department. They use it about as much as we do.
okay. So I'm gonna ask them to divide it by 5 instead. So that would be
$6-7.
something like that, yeah. 3,830.
so just out of curiosity, I know it belongs to the city, but do they do the edits on it or do they call somebody else to do the edits?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a horrible job.
yeah.
I have a hard time being able to do crappy work.
I can't be
Speaking of
right.
which, I
Can't
can
be
get with
right.
you
What's the
after.
amount? 3,800 or 3,000, right?
38.30 and 40 cents.
So 38 would be the 19. So 750 or something like that?
It ends up being about the same. It's
Say
divided by
90.
5, so maybe that's what they divided that by first.
I
7,
think you divided by, that's the number, 767.
Yeah,
yeah, 767, okay.
okay, so we'll just leave that.
So we'll just leave that.
That's for the year, and that's
Good.
That's for the year.
charged every week, and that's it.
Yeah.
And we post it on ours as well.
Yes,
That when I get it delivered to me, I do.
Can't we just have them put on their site to see the EDCs?
I can have them put a link, but it wouldn't be any different than their link to the PDF, so I'm assuming that they would still charge us.
They should charge us for doing that.
And there should be on our website as well, cross promotional
Right,
links.
but, I couldn't do that with the situations that were happening with the, URLs for the city. Because they were under .com and then they were .org and now they're different things. The times that the websites went down is because the URLs were put into warehouse. Exactly. And they couldn't get that back, so they had to change that.
Oh, they lost it.
Yes,
They didn't pay the bill.
correct.
Okay.
So I've been waiting to make sure that everything is gonna be on the same URL
I got
before I
you.
link
I
it.
just didn't understand the warehouse part. I was like, I haven't heard that.
Well, that's what they do. They park them in warehouses, they say.
okay.
So if we change that to 7,000 for the attorney, it would be a total of 22,267 with the other added back on the,
What was that total again?
22,267. Because we would be adding the 1850 and subtracting the 2,000. Well, not adding 1850, we'd only be adding 320.
Got it. Thank you. Okay, next one is personnel. Early personnel, our beautiful secretary over there.
Such a lovely color shirt, I love it.
And so here, during the year, we probably would give her approximately $1,500 by the time we pay things. Okay, then marketing and promoting. Okay, so we've had a lot of discussion this year because of the sales tax workshop and things like that about sponsoring things and whatever. There's no law that says we can't sponsor tourist activities or things, like that. It's just that they're asking us to try not to spend the major part of our budget on sponsoring things.
I've already put in an email to Carlton Schwab to get clarification on that. He did ask me to give him a time and date that I'm available. I've just been really busy with my new caseload, and so as soon as I can, I will get on the phone with him to get clarification on that.
So anyway, the way I figure it is that if we specifically put in this under marketing and promoting as what we're going to sponsor, and we're not going to sponsor anything else but these that we have on our budget, then I think we're right where we need to be. So,
I mean, I understand why he would want to do the first responders luncheon, but that was one of his main points at the meeting, was that we can't just give the fire department some money to do anything. So I think that we have, and I'm sorry. But that was one of his those were the words out of his mouth at the training. So I think that we would.
That was through the Chamber of Commerce. They came and asked that.
Yeah,
That was what they did.
Right, but
it doesn't go to the fire department.
it's on
at all.
here though, and we can't just do that.
We can do first responders luncheon through the chamber.
I'll get clarification because I don't think that we're allowed to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. From what he said, and Elizabeth, maybe you can help me out with that, is he said no sponsorships, was the words out of his mouth.
See, we had nothing to do with that.
Well, no, I understand. I'm not saying it is because of the fire department or that it's going to the fire department or anything. I'm just saying that he said no sponsorships. So,
Can you clarify what, because sponsorships can be determined in a lot of different ways.
right. That's why I'm calling him to get clarification on that, just because those were the words out of his mouth.
No, I get it, but again, it's what is exactly,
Right.
does that mean?
And again, he has not been the best on.
No, he hasn't. But I will get with him
Yeah.
and see what
He's
they're
not been the
saying so
best
that-
on actually following the law.
Right, because he was
You
not
know.
correct on the last time around.
right, and we wanna do what's by the law, and the law doesn't say we can't do it. It's just a matter of getting it down,
So we can leave it there until we get clarification.
okay?
And I want him to show me out of the actual law.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want to actually know the law and know where it's at so we can refer to it. Because like I said, he's not been the very best about doing what's actually in the law. It's whatever his opinion has been.
Right.
Okay, so, looking at the marketing and promoting, I have $2,000 down just for whatever marketing things that we want to look at, that would actually market our city. Then we haven't done the Cabela's fishing tournament in several years, so zero, it's a line item that's been in here. I asked them to take it out. Then we usually help out with the fishing tournament for the schools. So I went ahead and put that down. And then just general advertising, I left money there.
I do know that he did say specifically about the schools as well. So,
Yeah, that's true.
He doesn't want to give anything to the schools.
it's not that he doesn't want to help out the schools, it's just that this is to be for business.
Right.
And doing it for the children is a whole nother area that the city should be taking in to do.
Yeah.
So we could take the fishing tournament out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hate to do that, I just don't want,
Well, and again, it's not to try to word salad the meaning of all these things, but it's still a fishing tournament, it's still good for the city, it's still good
It
for the
is.
businesses, right?
it is,
It
but
doesn't have to be say that we're doing it to support the schools, we're doing it to help promote an event. in the
right,
city.
but that's why I'm gonna get clarification and want the laws
Mhm.
written out,
Yeah,
because
because
it
that's,
has to define between the two.
yeah, that's also considered advertising.
It can be, but then we'd have to show, but I mean, just from his wording, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So that's why I've gotten an email from him to set a date and a time that I can talk with him to get clarification on what is what. Yes, yes. What he wants by sponsorships and what the law says by
Right.
sponsorships.
Okay, so do you
Are we
want,
the same as EDC and Plymouth? Are
I
they
think they're
higher too?
type,
they're the same as we are.
they're not a type A,
They're at AB,
they're an AB,
like we are.
but we're just a B.
No, actually, we're at AB. Anytime you're a B, you're also part of it.
No, you have to have an election to have both.
Okay, well, then we're B.
Yes. You can have an A and then create a B if you're allowed to, I mean,
But
we're
the
allowed to
Bs
do
are
that.
still doing everything that
They're
A-
allowed to do, yes,
Yes, we're still allowed to do everything that
Yes.
A does.
yes,
Okay, we're type B.
yes.
Okay, so Quinlan's the same as we are. Because,
They're type B.
yeah, just they have a lot more money.
They got a lot more
Well,
business.
that's, I mean, they're doing stuff right and left,
Yeah,
and, yeah, they sponsor things and stuff, and nothing comes up. I was sitting there in one of their meetings.
yeah,
Well, that's
They
fine,
sponsor.
everybody can do what they want to do, but I'm just trying to make sure that we're going by the law.
which,
I understand, but I mean, what I'm saying, how can they do it and we can't?
Doesn't mean that they're supposed to just because they do it.
I don't know, we need to go to one of their meetings.
yeah, we do. We do, and,
We should do
okay, so, anyway, these are the things I have down.
Deputize.
This first responders mentioned we can do, right? Can we? Can we do, right?
What?
The first responders.
We're looking, we need
We're
clarification.
getting
that.
clarification.
We're getting clarification on that.
Bill.
Move on then.
Bill,
So fishing tournament,
Yeah.
free-to-air advertising, first responders luncheon, development and maintenance, that's what it costs per month for us to do the website. Uh-huh. Traverse Jam Fest, and then Cotton Patch.
Which again, I'm not sure that we can actually do the Traverse Jam Fest, because that's one of the things that I had asked them
Just
about.
sponsorship.
That's something. I
Because
think
they
you
don't
need to
actually
talk to
put,
the Chamber. I'm not sure.
Um,
So basically,
If, I would hate to not see us do Jam Fest, and the reason I would hate that is because it brings in so much tourists.
and I agree, it does bring in a lot of people, and it's good for the citizens to have the fireworks and everything, and we have been the major determining factor of them having the fireworks or not. But again, I can't just say, okay, let's just do it, and then pick and choose my battles, I can't just say, well, we'll do this one, but we're not gonna do that one. I wanna make sure that we're doing what the law says.
So thank you for that.
Yeah, we want to do that for sure, but if we don't get it on the budget, we can't
Right,
do
I'm not,
anything.
I'm not saying to leave it off just yet, because we do have to get the clarification.
See, that's where we've got it.
what's the Cotton Patch? So that's
Cotton
like
Patch is
cycling?
The cycling,
The cycling
Cycling.
branch, and we get people from Europe that come over on that, so.
I do know that we can't do, on a type B corporation, we can't spend more than 10% of the corporate revenue for promotion.
I don't everybody walked all over to walk.
Is that,
That's the law, that's section 505.10.
And this would not be 10,
Is
the
that
total of our marketing and promoting.
No, that's total.
Travis.
I do know that what I put down is less than that.
Right. Trying to see if I can.
I want to
Training
just ask
that they gave
about
us.
the Travis Jam Fest. Did we give 5,000 to them,
That pay for the fireworks.
Right.
pay for the fireworks?
Yes.
Well, we told them, do what you want.
Right, we gave it
Yeah,
to the
we-
chamber to do what they
Do
want.
what
Oh,
they want.
chamber, we gave it to the chamber.
Correct.
Okay,
For the
Okay, I
event,
remember
yeah.
that now, okay.
Yeah, we gave it to the chamber.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because they had a hard time putting that together. And, there, really wasn't hardly anybody, I walked all around talking to different people and there was hardly anybody there.
And so they may
And
not.
I
At
don't
the
know,
event, there
where
was
all that
hardly
money-
anybody at the event.
huh?
There seemed to be a lot of people when they did the fireworks later that night,
Just sitting out there, that would be,
yeah.
That-
But during the
but
day.
before,
last
prior
year,
to use all the different things that are there was nobody involved.
Well,
They came later on when it got dark with the fireworks.
well, and I know that like me, I got overheated and couldn't go back,
Right.
so there was a lot of people that were having problems with the heat. Yeah. Okay, so looking at the budget. I don't want to take these things off the budget, but I do want clarification as to where we can do them. And the reason I don't want to take them off the budget is if we take them off the budget, we're not gonna get them back.
No, leave them.
understood.
And right now, that's what we're dealing with, this budget.
Yes.
So let's leave it on, but we're not going to give any of this money until we find out
No.
Right,
exactly what.
right, because this is just for budget anyways, this isn't for,
This
Right
is
now,
not for
monies.
us doing it right now, but this is just for budget so that we have the money
There,
available if we
Right.
can use it. But I'm totally in agreement with Allison. We're not going to do anything that's not legal on here, and we're gonna get clarification on this to make sure. So, anyway, but I'd like to leave it on the budget so that it is there if we can.
I agree.
All right,
We probably should make a list of things we can do,
it would be nice, wouldn't it?
yes.
I wish that they would do it that way
Yeah.
at the
But I
training.
mean,
I'm trying to go through the book that they gave us at the thing and see if I can actually find it in there.
There's not, I went through it.
Yeah,
I
the only
went
thing is
from
just,
page to
they
page
do,
looking
what
for
they
it.
do is they put all of this information in there for type As, because there's not as many type Bs. And they don't really speak about type B. Like, all the questions I had to ask them were because they weren't defining whether it was type B or type As, and they were just speaking about type As. They didn't really have much to say about type Bs. So,
And type Bs actually give you more leeway on
Yes.
what you can do.
right, because they're for smaller rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that we're gonna struggle more than a type A area. So they give us a little bit more leeway to be able to do more than what a type A can do, just so that we can try to bring more in. But I just don't like the way they did their training as far as not including as much information for type Bs.
Okay, let's move on. Other. Other is for our type A and type B projects. And that is where we put things where we help businesses out. So I'd kind of like to leave our budget with what we've spent this past year on those things.
You don't think we need to go up a little bit
Which one?
We
on the 4A and 4B projects?
could,
Because if we wanted to do anything like, we were gonna have to get them to let us put more money in there for the park stuff, and they rejected that.
yeah, we could go up.
I would hate to wanna be able to do something like that for the park or whatever, and then not allow us to get the money out of the bank to do that.
Well, you don't have to spend it, so we could bump it to 25,000, because we don't have to spend it.
Right.
Okay.
Then you have it.
So,
Under 4A and 4B projects.
so we'd make it 1550.
And is there a limit?
No, I think she was saying
25,000.
25,000 for the 13.5.
So, yeah.
So it'd be
Is there a limit?
35.
And is there a limit with the
Okay.
percentage of the grant?
So you're wanting
On this?
25 on that.
Is there a limit, like sponsorships?
That's, I'd have to get,
Okay. Just because when you start
Yeah,
getting 25, I'm like,
oh no, those are for projects. Yeah, that's different than the promotion.
Okay. And then, the other, it's just her other spending, still leave it at 10.
Yeah. So that would just be 35 instead of 23.5.
Okay.
So we were 23.5?
It was 23.5 and we're gonna do the 25,000 here, so that with 10 would be 35,000.
And under job training, this is where we can train or help business train people.
How do they get that help? Do they have to submit a request to us?
Yes,
And we have a form that they submit?
I can make one.
I think it would be.
I have applications and other things available, I just have to get them approved first.
We've approved one.
Right, for the grants, it's- and then I have one that I can send over to Pam for approval on loan applications that ask for all their financials and everything. And it all has to be provided before decision making. But the job fair and the job workforce, I think that's good. We haven't used it, but it would be nice if somebody would ask us to.
yeah, I was gonna- kind of chicken
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we've got it there.
Right, should somebody,
Okay, of course, I'll have to add all this up again.
I don't have that one added.
So, yeah. So I'll get that.
Very good job, Mr. President.
Okay.
Hard job.
Yeah, that's.
All right,
that's not
so I need a motion to approve the budget with the changes we made.
I'll make, oh, go ahead. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the budget with the changes that we made.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I don't want to spend a lot of time on the rest of it. Let's go over it real quick. Okay, so we're going for our old business, business of the month.
Yes, so I did actually get them to fill it out. I haven't retrieved it from them, so they do have last month's business of the month. We do need to find another one.
Okay,
In the past,
That one was before. That one was March.
what was last one?
Ventures.
That's it.
okay, so any suggestions for business of the month?
The army place, Tawakoni army or no?
The RV?
Arby?
No, we didn't do them. We did the other one. Okay. Good.
Okay.
It's a big one.
So you're making that motion?
Yeah.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
You ever do the golf course?
Hmm?
You ever do the golf course?
We have not.
You can do that.
Okay, conflicts?
Okay, so
Yeah.
movies in the park. Okay, Rhett, you're taking the tent
Saturday.
Saturday.
You have the equipment, and I'm gonna do the bathrooms. And I'm still gonna talk to Mike when I'm doing the bathrooms anyways.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, so he's taking over for you on the 10th.
Yes, which I really appreciate because it's my dad's 95th birthday and I didn't really, well, his birthday's not actually on that day, but it was the following week and so they decided to do the party on Saturday.
Okay.
So
You're doing the movie, he's doing the movies
Saturday
Saturday night?
I'll call you Friday.
Okay, I know you will. And, we have a, kids movie, I can get anything, but Harry
So-
Potter, Toy Story,
Yes, we need to make the names before when we're deciding because they're getting on to me about not being able to provide everybody else's movie topics.
No, if you wanna see
we
Mount
have-
Kettle, you know, they have it at the Cotton Museum.
Oh, do they really? I love that. We can watch the second one on the Spy Kids.
okay, easy peasy.
Okay.
And actually, the first one, well, I don't know how this, I stopped by to help see how setup was going, I didn't see.
No, so big bang for the first one, you know, because, well, okay, second one. You cheated me because that first one, nobody showed up and then I got all this flack and so I advertised all this stuff and then they all showed up for yours. And then the third one, we had one family with 5 and then another lady and her puppy and me and Chad.
She showed up to all of them with a puppy.
But the family really enjoyed it, so, but it was just a
Well, I
quaint
think-
little
again-
get together.
Well, I think no matter what, as long as we,
It was really, really windy.
that's right, I know.
I got wrapped up in that screen a few
I'd
times.
actually like to, if it's the appropriate timing, if we're gonna continue to do this, invest a little bit of money in some
In
equipment.
a stable,
Right.
because that screen can come off with Velcro.
Uh-huh.
It's Velcroed on, so if we've got metal poles that would just
Right.
sit up real quick like with that Velcro,
And
Would be
I'll look
amazing.
into it and make a couple different recommendations.
Yeah.
And then, maybe possibly get a little bit of equipment. And then as far as overall goes, I think as long as we continue to do it.
Yes,
whether
then
people
they'll
show up or
know.
not,
Yeah.
Then I think eventually it'll catch up. And right now,
Right.
of course, it's still 85,
yeah,
9 o'clock.
yeah. It's hot, buggy, and windy,
Yeah.
and it was so bad last night.
So Brett's gonna do the 10th, the
Yes.
24th.
Is supposed to be me,
Do you want us to take that one?
if you don't have to.
Okay, that one's still pretty now.
Yeah. Okay, I'll still do the 24th.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And then we're going into September.
September 7th. We haven't made that one. Did we make that? No, we only went through August first. So, Brett, do you want to take the 7th?
Yeah, it'll be nice by then.
I need to get in there somewhere, I guess.
You can do the 21st then, because it's around my anniversary, so I probably might not be there.
Okay.
If that works. If it doesn't work for you, that's fine.
All right, that sounds good, okay. All right, let's go on and talk about the meet and greet.
Oh, it's too for.
Fine, it's okay.
Okay, so, the meet and
I
greet.
thought the meet and greet was excellent for the people that came.
Yes,
They were very good, they were all well-spoken, and they brought out their business a little bit and so on. So, I think it's a great thing. The only thing is, we just gotta get people there. I don't know how.
I think we're gonna have to go around to businesses.
Right, and I think, some of that was that we had to change the date too, so I had it advertised for the first time, and then I didn't have much time to have it advertised for the second date. Yeah. I wanted to go, and then when we changed it, I couldn't go.
I know, and that was a shame, because we just,
In fact, on last Thursday, my wife and I went and saw Charity again. My wife started getting all set up, even though she's going through immigration. They're actually already working with her to help her get started in something here.
cool, good deal, okay. So our last meet and greet, we need to talk about what date we're going to set for our next meet and greet.
What
I
day?
think September is a good time to do meet and greets.
Friday or Thursday?
Yeah,
I would say Friday is probably the.
You wanna try the 26th? Oh,
I
you said
think
Friday? What did you say?
27th.
Friday the 13th is unforgettable.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody would show up on Friday the 13th.
Well, I think we're joking. Unforgettable. It's an easy date to remember.
I mean, we can do that.
That's what y'all want to do.
I can
Yeah,
make
it's
it a
only 1
theme.
Yeah, this I will tell you, we had difficulties trying to get someone to cater that. And that was an issue. And so I just ended up going to Walmart and getting stuff there and bringing it. And that worked wonderfully.
It worked fine.
And so I'm thinking maybe that's where we need to look for this next one. So
I don't know what it'll do.
Yeah.
If it works, it works.
it works really well. It works really well.
I mean, it's hard to get our businesses to do it on Fridays because that's their big business days, so.
So does Friday work, do you think, for businesses?
Has it been
5 to 7, right?
Yeah, we did 5 to 7.
You said you had a good turnout, right?
Well, we didn't have a lot,
We didn't have a lot of people, but
but the
the
ones
people
showed
that
up
were
great.
there, they talked together, and they associated, and they talked about their business, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Because I learned something new, I met new people.
Maybe we need to expand it and not just, advertise for just the businesses, but it's also good for the citizens to know their businesses.
Yeah,
So open it to make
Yeah,
sure
it's
that they can
important.
come and meet the people for the business.
Personally, I thought it was some pretty good, for as small as it was, I thought there was some good valuable networking going on.
Right,
It was absolutely good networking going on.
and I mean, I know that's the purpose of it, but sometimes, like, if we have the new businesses coming in, it would be good to be able to have citizens that want to come and meet the businesses that are available. Just an idea.
Yeah, I like that too. I like doing it at the chamber too.
That's good.
So the 13th,
What do you think about doing a lunch? Because people can leave for lunch. They don't really do this.
but they don't, a lot of them don't, well, I guess they're here.
A lot of them leave and go to the chamber luncheon.
Yeah.
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 I wouldn't be able to do it, but I Haven't been able to get to one anyway, so.
Yeah, I won't be able to do that.
But you couldn't come to the last one, right?
No, I couldn't, I worked until 7:30, 8 that day.
What day is
Friday.
It's a Friday. Friday the 13th.
Friday, make it Friday the 13th.
At what time?
Five.
Five or 5:30?
We
5.
did it 5 last time, right? Or was it?
Five
We
to
do
seven.
5 to 7.
I just need to know so I can get the information.
Come as you are.
It's the chamber to advertise it for us again.
We
And,
promise nobody.
Friday the 13th.
Turn the pages.
September.
Yes, September,
Okay.
At the chamber?
at the chamber. Will they be okay with that?
Of course, I will check with them to
Okay.
make sure.
Yeah.
I'll get back with you. I can call them tomorrow and talk to them.
Not you can do it out. Yeah.
Okay, I'm usually pretty good about that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think there's anything we need to do on our, going to the next thing. I don't think there's any action we need to take on our 1300 Highway 276 currently.
Not until we can get the replacement. And then decide what we're doing.
I think
As far as keeping some traction on it, do we have any type of schedule for like doing round robin or figuring out what is the purpose of that building? Because we kind of, really until you kind of do that brainstorm, right? You can't really do anything else. I mean, we can do all the project planning and building design and all that stuff, but it doesn't really mean a lot until we say, what's the business use? Now, I think we still kind of go by the same usage model of what we were looking at the remodel for, which is kind of general and kind of leaving it open. We want to have so many square footage for general population showing up. We want to be able to rent 2 to, or X amount of offices, maybe on the side now, because we're designing it for new. They can be on the out, they can be completely separate on the outside. And then possibly,
Can we not
Could be a
expand,
thing.
like that building, I know that you say the wall is coming down, could we not just take that wall and expand off of?
take the wall down.
Right.
Well, I think if they're saying it's like, we're gonna have to wait for
Foundation.
that, but if it's the foundation the problem, then it
So,
doesn't make a lot of sense to
then
build
we're
off
gonna-
of it.
Well, it wouldn't make a lot of sense to build on the property at all unless we get some kind of environmental study then to make sure that what we build is not gonna sink as well.
Could do a raised platform.
But, that you can take care of
Yeah.
by
Mhm.
having the right,
Peer to me,
foundation type.
Yeah, but a pyramid over time isn't gonna.
and you can adjust it.
Yeah, there are things you can do.
I know, because my house is.
I love pyramid. I do love pyramid. I like, I agree.
I don't, we should have a meeting to discuss, the purpose of it and how much square footage we need, things like that.
I think the last meeting we talked about, we need to start thinking about that. And so,
Well, I think one of the things that keeps coming up too is the need for maybe not necessarily a community center, but something that could be used in supplement
For the
of,
citizens, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You at least have a meeting place to where if we did need to have something for the citizens to have an area to meet at, then we just really need to kind of discuss what would that be, that population size. And then once we know the population size, make sure we work with the fire department, get the right codes in and everything, and the right amount of square feet footage to be able to house it.
Well, you've also got to consider, like, when we have public meetings in here and the whole town wants to come, we can't. They can only hold 26 people. So you're gonna want to at least have a room big enough for they could come and do their meeting there and all the citizens could come in here.
right,
Rather than just a couple of them and be turned away.
And keeping in mind that future growth, I mean, not only do we
Right.
looking at 10 years from now, we're looking at what, next year?
Right.
We already got how many houses already being built over there?
Right, 300.
Yeah, and there's like already 20 of them already in on their way.
It's
It's coming.
186.
Behind the Lily's, that's what I was
Behind
told.
behind the donut shop
Yeah, that's like 180 some.
In the first phase.
in the first phase. Okay, so, let's dedicate our next meeting to discussing what we'd like to see happen with our property. Okay. What's the
Hey, if anybody wants to learn about rock wall and whatever, tomorrow at lunch, between 12 and 1, at the Cotton Museum, there's a young lady who's coming in and gonna be talking all about the history of Rockwall and Greenville and what took place and what's taking place. She runs the museums.
Awesome.
She has a doctorate and a master and a
Very neat. Okay, and, there's not anything to do with the 1552 right now. We're just kind of
So-
just waiting.
At this point, there's some CD, for construction document evaluation. I would actually like to give you the phone number of the people that are doing it. Maybe you just ask them, what's the status, how long is it gonna take? That'll actually light a little fire.
Okay, I can do that.
So let me,
Okay, I can do that.
you make a phone call with anyone.
I can do that. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so I don't think we need executive session this time. All right, there's no citizens input.
I'll make the motion with John.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
And the next meeting, you come in with, ideas for the
Yes, ideas for what we want to do with that property.
And hopefully I'll have information from,
sponsorships.
yes.
Yes.
I will make it a point to discuss
I gotta
that
go
this
get
week,
some.
talk with him. And
Gotta
lay
go
out
to
that
fight.
information at the
Yeah, I
next
gotta
meeting.
go first.
Okay, take care, have a good one.
Okay, yes, you better answer the phone this time.
What do you think? Can you?
Text too,
Call me.
because he does really good with text.
I did text you,
I know,
and you
I'm
don't
horrible
text me
with
until
this.
the next day.
I'm horrible with this.
I'll stop that.
There you go, young lady.
Huh?
There we go.
Okay.
Yes,
Me too.
Hang on, what's my notifications turned off?
Good meeting, good meeting.
yeah, well.
It's just for the 2 boxes.
Have a good one, Jacob.
For you too.